Ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Professor Moon Eon Ho, Professor from School University, Seoul, Korea.
Thank you.
Professor Ramashankar Verma, Director, SNNIS, Prayagraj.
Thank you.
May we please request our dynamic and passionate Honorable Vice Chancellor and Senior Professor Dr. Uma Tandon Ma'am to deliver the welcome address and concluding remarks.
Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal, Judge Supreme Court of India, my esteemed brother, Honorable Vice Chancellor from NLU Bhopal, Professor Surya Prakash, Advocate Nitin Nanda from Estonia, Professor Koho Moon Hoon from South Korea, Professor R.S. Verma, Director of MNNIT, dear delegates, my dear students, my teaching faculty, staff, and distinguished guests. Well, I'm delighted to welcome you all again, but at this occasion, at the valedictory or the closing ceremony of 3-day International Conference on Law, Technology, and Development. It is with great honor and gratitude that we welcome our chief guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal, hailing from Meerut, belonging to the family of 3 generations of lawyers and the son of longest serving judge of Allahabad High Court. His lordship is known for his humility and generosity in not only the legal circle, but in the whole city. Because I have come across some of the persons in the city who used to speak very high of you, sir. Before his elevation at the Supreme Court, his lordship had been, as I said, a judge here at the Allahabad High Court, and then became the Chief Justice at Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh at that time, High Court, and then the Chief Justice of Rajasthan High Court. And his lordship has delivered very significant judgments. One of the judgments which I can talk about today is from the Supreme Court of 2024 that relates to the automatic vacation of stay orders, in which his lordship was a member of the Constitution bench. As a matter of fact, when I went to the Allahabad High Court and met Justice Bhanot, he explained to me the difficulties which had been, which were being faced by the judges after that 3-judge bench from the Supreme Court, which had ruled that if it is not, a stay is not vacated within a fixed period of time, which perhaps was a 6 months, then it is automatically vacated. So that was a judgment from the Supreme Court, and the fight had started from here. I will not say Prayagraj because High Court is still the Allahabad High Court, and Bar Association is still after the name of the Allahabad Bar Association. The name of the case is Allahabad Bar Association versus like this. And then as I said, the Constitution bench, including his lordship, has overruled that judgment by saying that there will not be any automatic vacation of the stay orders. Now, if I exclude the number of the judgments from the Supreme Court, simply count the judgments delivered by his lordship as a judge of the Allahabad High Court and Chief Justice of, as I said, Rajasthan and J&K High Court. His Lordship has delivered as many as more than 37,000 judgments. I think it is a record. Another interesting fact about his lordship is that he has a great interest in philately, which many of you might have had. And he happened to be an avid stamp collector. And because of that hobby, as we generally say when the child is growing up, you have to develop some hobby. Maybe that was developed as a hobby only. But because of that, he has also got certain professional responsibility at the Allahabad High Court, and he was made a member of the committee on this stamp collection and the coins. Now, let me share with you another interesting fact of his lordship. He is a profound, I will say, writer not only of the judgments, but also of articles and the books. One of the articles which was written by his lordship during the days as an advocate is still widely read. It's available. I have browsed it. It's a 7-page that article. Name of the article is Birth and Life of uh, High Court at Allahabad High Court of Adjudicator at Allahabad. So the way, sir, when I was reading it, in a very simple and lucid manner, the way you have written small sentences, very effective sentences, that really, we are impressed with that. So we are really obliged that you have taken your time to bless my students, this university, and we extend you a very hearty welcome, a big round of applause for the Chief Guest. A very warm welcome to my brother, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Surya Prakash, Vice Chancellor of NLIU from Bhopal, an outstanding jurist, an accomplished administrator, and a very good friend. Professor has helped me a lot with his wisdom and experience in my initial days of joining as Vice Chancellor at this NLU. And again, my first visit to any NLU as Vice Chancellor happened to be to his NLU only. I had been inviting the Vice Chancellor of Bhopal on the previous occasion also, but he couldn't make it. But this time, he's so humble and I will say dedicated for the legal education that this time he couldn't, I will not say couldn't, I will say he didn't say no, despite the fact I know that he's so extremely busy with his university that tomorrow the Vice President of India was supposed to visit their university. But he said, no, this time I will come what may, I will manage the other things. So we deeply appreciate, sir, your dedication to the legal education and your support to me. And we extend you a very warm welcome. Well, it's indeed my honor and privilege to welcome international lawyer, Mr. Nitin Nanda, who is currently based in Estonia, but whose work spread all over the world, be it USA, Europe, you name any country on the globe. A self-made professional whose files run into billions of dollars. He is a very, very humble and down-to-earth person and have utmost respect for the elders, preserving the culture and ethos of India. I have had a special and personal connection with Mr. Nanda and cherish those days when he happened to be there at Campus Law Center. And these days, the height which he has achieved, now he's more towards giving back. And with that particular sense, he is there, and that whatever I can give back to my alma mater, I'm talking about Campus Law Center, University of Delhi. He has that commitment that I should give back. And he's very fond of students, as you must have seen, how much we were engrossed when he was delivering his address. Uh, it's not only in words. You will find there are certain person who will talk so high, doing nothing. But it's not a case with Mr. Nitin. Why? Because when I was at CLC, University of Delhi, he took two of my students for internship at Estonia. So he's a man of action. So you have spared your time to come here, and you have really made us proud, Nitin. Stay blessed. My good wishes to you. And on this momentous occasion, we extend you a very warm and cordial welcome. A big round of applause for Mr. Nitin Nanda. My hearty welcome to my friend from South Korea, Professor Koho, Moon Hoon Koho. A very sincere, you might have find our delegate. Right from the very first day, he is with us, taking part in each and every activity. A very learned person as far as his area is concerned, ESG. And though I welcomed you previously also, but this occasion also I extend you a very warm and cordial welcome, Professor Ko. We are having a very distinguished guest with us, the director of this MNNIT, Professor R.S. Verma. And I first met Professor Verma at the airport. And in the short time when we were waiting for the boarding, he has shared with me so many experiences of running the institution. Though we exchanged our phone numbers, but we never had the occasion to talk thereafter, even though it was always in my mind that I have to talk to you and come to know so many things which are specific to this Prayagraj. We are, sir, obliged to you that you have allowed us to organize our conference herein, and whatever arrangements you have made herein, we are really thankful to you and we extend you a very warm welcome. I would also like to welcome Professor Philip Collet in absentia. You know that he was with us till lunch, but somehow he was not feeling good in his health. He was having certain stomach problems. So I told him that you can take rest and we can go very much without you extending our wishes, best wishes for his good health. Well, a very warm welcome to distinguished, dedicated speakers, I will say. There are many speakers, but dedicated speakers I'm talking about, because those who stay here not only for making their own presentation, but before the presentation and after the presentation, and if that is a coincidence, they all happen to be, you may correct me, but I think they all happen to be from Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. A big round of applause for them. Well, if I talk about the takeaway from this conference, then we find that our esteemed visitor, Honorable Mr. Justice Manoj Misra, has given us the illustrations as to how AI can be correct, but without any use. Then I shared with you my personal experience demonstrating that how AI can be both incorrect and useless. Then we had Professor Kalas from Auckland University, who has emphasized the Earth approach system and was talking again and again, emphasizing the concept of trusteeship. But then we also had discussions on that judgment of the Supreme Court, Ranjit Singh I'm talking about, wherein the issue came before the court for the protection of the migratory birds. The issue was for protecting the migratory bird, but the law which came out was the climate change. So what is the case has gone for and what has come out? This is also one of the areas of research, but ultimately they did not get the relief. We got the climate right on papers, but if we would like to know what was the ultimate relief, that was not given. And we are criticizing because this is a judgment which can be seen from many angles. And today we heard Professor Robert from University of from Vancouver, University of British Columbia, and as I mentioned, the same case has happened in that court also, in Canada also, that there was an issue of almost similar case. There was an issue for the protection of the migratory birds, and there was solar panels, and but therein the decision appears to be different, even though I have to still read that particular judgment. So what I'm emphasizing is diverse views, because that is the whole purpose that the deliberations or the dialogues should have. They should not go in one line only. There should be diverse views, but well spotted and well reasoned. Then we also had the discussions on gender issues, on the IPR issues, on the indigenous knowledge, and then of course the interesting session, last one, on the artificial intelligence, on which it was very difficult to stop them from answering those questions. And already I have shared with you that two broad streams have come out from the discussions. And one is we had some of the papers which had emphasized, including myself, that there should be more and more use of technology for achieving those goals which we are saying are sustainable development goals. But then on the other hand, we right from the very first day, we have been having the concerns that if we are talking about too much use of technology, that is also harmful in the long run. May not in the immediate effect we might not feel, but in the long run there has to be certain limit of that. And in the conference we had seen the use of those expressions, which I said in one of the sessions also, that one of the speakers has used the word limitation of technology. Another person has used the word, I think you have used that. And Prikshit has also, the presentation was in that context only. And again, if I remember Professor Kallet's presentation, who has talked about limitation of sustainable development. And then I asked that let us coin, why? Because previously we were talking about sustainable development in the context of industrial civilization, industrial revolution. These days, the term may be the same, but it is more technology which is posing the similar threats. And therefore, I just urge that if we can coin some expression which can better reflect these kind of the problems, let us try that. And some of the delegates have WhatsApped me those expressions. We will sit and then we'll have, again, our dialogues will continue, again through the use of technology, maybe by WhatsApp or maybe by our email. And each and every session has been recorded by the rapporteur, and we will sit at the end to see what has come out from there. And we will also try to see, if not many, even though there is one or two recommendation which comes out and which we may propose, maybe to the policy makers or maybe for the legislature, we will see what concrete thing actually has come out from this. And I hope you have all enjoyed the cultural evening yesterday, wherein, wherein the students have performed various activities, and also the performance by Professor Ko. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed it a lot. And I'm immensely delighted that when the delegates are going back, they are returning back as holy persons. So I put on record the cooperation and support extended by the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, who has facilitated your transformation into the holy and pure men and women. Anyway, we look forward to listen our chief guest and the other dignitaries on the dais. So I wind up my address by thanking you, by welcoming you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ma'am, for such vibrant and valuable words. It's a pleasure to welcome Professor Moon Hee-yeon Ko, Professor of Law, Sunshil University, Seoul, Korea, as our distinguished guest. From June to 1996 to February 2000, he was in charge of arranging administrative precedents and documents of the Supreme Court while serving as an investigative member of the Judicial Review Committee of the Supreme Court. In 2014, he became a full-time member of the Korean Environmental Academy, the Ministry of Government Legislation, the Korea Maritime and Fisheries Development Institute, the auditor of the 20th National Assembly Constitutional Amendment Special in 2017. He also became the Commission Advisory Member of the National Police Agency Police Investigation Committee, member from 2017 to 2020. May we please invite Professor Ko to address the gathering.
Good evening, Honorable Justice Pankaj Mittal, Honorable Vice Chancellor Usha Tandon, and etc. It is my greatest honor to join here the grand theme named Law, Technology, and sustainable development. As we know it, environmental pollution incidents are complexly intertwined, interrelated. Therefore, it takes a considerable amount of time to determine causal relationship, causation. In particular, the development of science and technology is essential for determining causal relationships. Great musician, as you know it, the greatest musician in the world, Beethoven, Rudolf van Beethoven, died of lead and mercury poisoning, according to a study conducted in 1990 at Chicago Research Institute in the United States. A strand of Beethoven's hair was collected and analyzed. The result showed that he died of lead and mercury poisoning due to eating a lot of fish dishes contaminated with the Danube River. This result shocked the world. The environmental pollution don't consider who or she, anyone, he is famous or not. Everybody can be victims. It is a very serious signal to us. So in environmental problem or environmental issues, we should prevent in advance, not cause like this. So I wish in here a very promising student, you all, I hope that you will become a great justice like Honorable Justice Pankaj Mittal, and in the future. Also, I hope you to become great scholar like the greatest mathematics scholar Ramanujam from India. So among you emerge a great scholar. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor, for such a motivational address. We are honored to have Professor Ramashankar Verma, Director, MNNIT, Allahabad, as our distinguished guest. He is a true visionary in the field of science and technology. Professor Verma has made pioneering contributions to research and innovation. Professor Verma was nominated by President of India as member of Stem Cell Committee. He was appointed as chairman of Biosafety Committee, Institute Ethics Committee, Animal Ethical Committee at IIT Madras. He has got the publication of more than 200 research papers to his credit. May we please invite Professor Ramashankar Verma, sir, to address the gathering.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to welcome in our campus, MNIT Allahabad, all the people. I hope this 2.5 days or 3 days, you must have enjoyed the lovely environment here. I would like to say, Professor Usha Tandon, whom Seattle, where I met, actually I have a habit of talking to the people when are sitting. I don't go to and see the mobile, basically. This is my problem, So those who are sitting, I always introduce myself and talk to them and want to know something, who they are, what they are doing it like. So thank you for meeting. And whenever she asked about this, I said, this is the government institution. You can use it. There is no problem. And we all benefit with that. Anyway, first of all, I'd like to welcome in this, from my side, Professor Justice Pankaj Mittalji, who has been Chief Justice of India. He has come all the way from Delhi to here. And so nice of you. I hope you'll enjoy our hospitality, at least environment. I'm not giving any food or anything, but this is the thing I can offer you. And the sitting on the dais, other member, Professor Nandaji, who's come from the Bhopal, Vice Chancellor of NLU, and Professor Munhuko, who has come from the South Korea. I think you have heard about that. And also, Professor, basically, Nandaji. Oh, I'm confused. I missed something different. Surya Prakashji from NLU. Yeah. And Professor Nandaji, who has come from Estonia. I was talking to him. I mean, it was a Soviet Union before, but now it is independent country. So anyway, I can share with you 2 or 3 things. One, he has already shared about the Beethoven, how he died. I'm a faculty of IIT Madras, basically. I lived there for more than 20 years in nearby areas. The pharmaceutical waste is the biggest problem in India right now. People in pharmaceutical, they go and pollute all the rivers and everything, even the tanneries. So I can give example. In Vellore, there is one river is there, which is known as Palar River. It is all polluted, basically. And this is the chromium contamination is there in that one. And so probably, one can think about during the course of justice that has to be given, that very strict law has to be made, how the people can, remove their waste product before going to the contaminating the other rivers also. So they should dispose after removing all those contaminants, which are highly contaminated. Second thing, one is the diclofenac. I don't know how many people know this. Everybody takes the drug diclofenac, but diclofenac is also given to the animals. And most of the vulture are dead in India right now because they give an extra amount of the diclofenac to the animals. And when they die, the vulture eat their meat. And that they cannot digest, they cannot degrade the diclofenac, that they don't have any enzyme in the vulture, in the birds. When they eat it, they die also. And this is basically a good harmonious relation between the nature also. If the vultures are not there, we cannot have these dead animals to be removed from the earth also. So we must think about that also. These are 2 examples I wanted to give you. And I don't know whether I have seen some of the justice system in US. I lived there for 11 years there. So sometime I hear, sometime on TV, they have a jury system. I don't know whether we have a jury system here also or not. We don't have it. The jury system is very good. I think there was a very good murder of one of the football star. And within 3 years, the judgment was passed. He was found not guilty in one case, but other case he was found guilty also. So the jury was there. I mean, that day I was in Philadelphia. Everybody used to groove the TV because he was such a superstar. And I'm sure the sitting here also, you are the future judges of India, as he was telling you. So I think you also think about how to make the system, robotic, means and holistic also. I was listening that the AI is not helping them. Some people are against, some people are right also, using AI in justice system. Probably that is the one thing which I would like, that you should think about, that using a technology in limitation is very good, but too much dependent on the technology is not very good also in that. Anyway, again, in the last, I would like to welcome all the people in the dais and other people here also who is coming all the way, different part of the country. And whatever I could do it in the future also, MNIT is open for you guys, you can come. We have also, for your information, we started a constitutional program here, so that all the students should learn about what is the Indian Constitution is there. So we are having that kind of 1 credit course. So next year, I will ask them to have a lecture, at least 3 hours lecture. At least they can live here, so they will all understand what is our rights, what the Constitution is. I think we do not know. As a citizen, I think 99% people do not know about the law. So this is a very important thing. I think it should be done in graduation level to all the institutions basically. That will be good. And I would like to see that all the lawyers who are familiar, they should become a part of our either the Vidhan Sabha or the Lok Sabha. Because those are the people who are lacking there. But in the US, most of the lawyers are basically the Senate or senators. So I hope in the future you will become part of that and make this institution India proud of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with the pragmatic approaches of pharma and environmental sustainability. Now, moving forward, we are extremely honored to have Mr. Nitin Nanda, an internationally acclaimed lawyer based in Estonia. Mr. Nanda holds key positions in international companies and organizations. His work in cross-border legal policies and international law enforcement offers valuable insights into how technology is shaping legal frameworks worldwide. He is a global ambassador for Government Blockchain Association, United States of America. Presently, he is developing several projects, CLAIF, which focuses on verticals that are needed for a healthy, happy, and prosperous life. Further, skillsofblogs.com, wherein ebooks, educational courses, and webinars will be put up on verticals of the new age digital economy, which include blockchain, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, etc. With this, I would like to invite Professor Nitin Nanda to address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you. Is it okay? Audible? Yes. Thank you once again, ma'am, Professor Usha Tandon. She was my professor 22 years ago. She's still my professor. She corrected me today. I'll share with you later. So I'm still learning from her. In fact, I feel I'm lucky, very lucky, to have her as my professor. And you all are, I said you all are also lucky. You don't understand it yet. Over a period of time, you will come to know. Just before this valedictory session, I was talking to Associate Professor Kshitij, and he was sort of confirming my views and sharing his experiences with her. So she's not only good for students, she's good for her colleagues as well. Sometimes she can be straight, she can tell you on the face now. But that's the best. That's better than somebody who harbors it in the mind and expresses in different ways. So I like her direct approach as well. I was sitting outside and I was telling her, ma'am, I'm not a professor. I'm a lawyer because I don't even have a PhD. I don't have a basic qualification to be a professor. And she corrected me, no, you can be a professor of practice. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. I feel 22 years have passed, 21 years have passed since I joined the practice, and I love the practice. I love it so much that sometimes I forget my lunch. Sometimes I'm working 2-3 days in a row, jumping flights in between, jumping countries in between, and working at every hour that I find. And I still don't feel that I've done anything. I don't feel exhausted. 22 years down the line, I feel I've done nothing in life. I know nothing because the field of law is so vast. It's like, yes, sir, 90% of the people don't know law, but even 10% like us, we don't know the law because it's so vast. Every day we learn. It's like a well. If you want to have water today, you need to dig today as a lawyer. If you don't dig today, you will not get the water today. So you have to keep digging the well every day. But in these 22 years, one thing was hurting my mind, my heart, always. And that was pendency of the court cases. It is said that if the entire judiciary works 24/7 for the next 25 years, I'll repeat this. If the entire judiciary of India works 24/7 for the next 25 years, then there is a chance of the pending court cases to be decided all in all. Otherwise, the pendency can go on to next 50 years. And therefore, sir, Honorable Justice, sir, we need more judges like you. 37,000 judgments. Wow. We need more people like you in our judiciary, at the Supreme Court level, at the High Court level. In fact, in the lower judiciary level as well. I wish somehow you could train them or share your experiences with them as to how you made it happen. Having said that, that should not discourage us from moving ahead in the profession of law. It has its own challenges, it has its own frustrations, but at the same time, it has its own rewards. It's more rewarding than your friends who would land up in corporate jobs initially, but later on languish in there. I don't mind sharing, in 2005, my salary was 4,500 rupees a month. And I was a lucky one, because my friend was getting 1,500 rupees a month. And there was another friend, his senior is a honorable justice now, but he didn't get paid anything, so he used to use his own money to put petrol in his car. That was how 2004-05 looked for us. And our friends who were doing MBA, they got a job. They got jobs like 25,000 rupees a month, and that was our dream salary. 22 years, I'm somewhere else. My friends are still there in that hierarchy. So what I try to say here is, it's not about, if you want to come to the practice or come to law, forget money for the first 5 to 10 years. And if you cannot do that, then please look for something else. That's from practice point of view. Because practice, the law itself, have you heard that it's a jealous mistress? Who has heard that law is a jealous mistress? Now all of you have heard. Law does not like you to be with anybody else. If you want law to do something for you, You have to give your 100% to it, and then the magic happens. With ma'am, we have been discussing two things. One is the possibility of me sharing my knowledge and experience with you more formally in the coming years. And the second thing is that a couple of years ago, in a spirit of giving back to Campus Law Center, which started a program. It was the International Internship Program. And we actually executed it. I selected 3 students. We took to come and join me in my office. One of them somehow could not come, but the other 2, I took them. So we paid for their flight tickets, we paid for their accommodation. We sort of indulged them in the files I could, because some of my files, they don't allow me to, I can't allow anybody else to touch them. But wherever I could, I involved them, and it did shape up their career. It helped them later. We can't take everybody. It's a very costly process. But I was discussing with ma'am that what happened was COVID disrupted the program. So we started it, and the very next year, COVID happened. And then for the next 2-3 years, we could not execute it. We are planning to revive it. Primarily, I started for Campus Law Center because I really want to give back to that institution. It's because of that institution and professors like Usha Tandon that I am where I am. But since she's here, I told her, ma'am, I can extend the program to RPU as well. So what we will do is, if I want to take 2 students, I will take 1 from CLC and 1 from RPU. And if I want to take 4, I'll take 2 from CLC and 2 from RPU. Not this year, because you're only first year, but we may start the selection process this year itself. Those who are interested can approach ma'am, right? And with that note, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nitin Nanda, for such thought-provoking and motivational words. We are absolutely honored to have Professor Dr. S. Surya Prakash as our distinguished guest. Professor Dr. S. Surya Prakash, serving as a Vice Chancellor of National Law Institute, University, Bhopal. He has more than 30 years of experience in academics. Professor Surya Prakash is a prolific writer and wrote on several contemporary issues. May we please invite Professor Dr. S. Surya Prakash to address the gathering. So please.
Mount Everest is necessary for me?
No.
I'm not comfortable.
No, where is that guy? The technician.
नहीं हो जाएगा. So. Good evening to all. Honorable Justice Pankaj Mittal ji, the chief guest for today's program, and sir also visitor of NLIU Bhopal, so that's our special connection. My sister, Professor Usha Tandon, whose invitation I could not say no, and all the way she made me to come and made me to take a holy dip in Sangam. Thank you very much, madam. my sister. And Professor Moon Hyo Ko, Professor Ramshankar Varmaji, the director of MNIT, Mr. Nitish Nanda, the international advocate, learned faculty members, and my dear student friends. I should congratulate Professor Usha Tandon for conceptualizing a topic, law, technology, and sustainable development. Before say a few words about the topic, I would like to tell Professor Ramashankar Varmaji, sir, you have taken a very good step to introduce Constitution of India. And in fact, every UG student, whether he is a law student or technology or medicine, pharmacy, everyone should know about the Constitution of India. Why? Because the Constitution of India starts with we the people of India. And it is not meant for lawyers, judges, law students, and legal professionals only. It belongs to all, and everyone must know not only their rights, but also their duties. And as a whole, the lives of every Indian. And in fact, the greatness of Indian Constitution, it not only guarantees rights to the Indian citizens, but also to the refugees, those who enter into India without any permission, because Article 21 speaks about no person shall be deprived of his life and liberty except according to the procedure established by law. That's how even Rohingyas are also protected. Even their children, Honorable Supreme Court said that they have a right to go to school. Okay. So in that aspect, really I would like to congratulate Varmaji, and not only in this institute, he may convince the directors of other institutes also to introduce as a non-credit course, if not as a credit course, as a non-credit course, this constitutional law must be taught to the students. So coming back to our topic, science, technology and law, or technology and law interface are intertwined or interconnected with sustainable development. Every step that we may make every day governed by both law and technology. Very simple illustration. If we are driving the car where there is a signal, a red light, we have to stop. If we cross the signal, bump the signal, then if we bump the red light, police will follow. So the red light is the law of physics, and if you violate, then the law will follow. And all of us have the mobile phones. Thanks to Steve Jobs, made our lives so easy. The entire world, the entire knowledge is in one mobile. If a smartphone, we can use it, misuse it. As long as we use it, no issue. Suppose once we start misusing it, so the social media and any abusive language, there is the sophisticated technology, and if you misuse it, the law will follow. So that interconnection between, as I said, that it may be interconnection or interface or what intertwined, law and technology, they are so intertwined. One, we cannot expect one without the other. As long as we are on the right side of the law, we can use the technology. The moment we cross, that's the reason why we should know where the Lakshman Rekha is drawn. And my friends, because here we have lot many youngsters, the students, I would like to analyze very briefly, because for the last 2 days, you are already, there should have been, and I know Professor Tandon, she might have given you very brainstorming exercises, not only students, even but also to the speakers. She won't spare anybody. So, as an academician, as a teacher, how do we look at these concepts? Law and technology. Obviously, we have to look at the industrial revolutions. I do not want to explain in toto, but I will drop you the hints how to look at this particular topic. Sustainable development, automatically it is there. It is with environmental law, it is with science and technology, with its sustainable development. It is part of everything. So, when we look at the first industrial revolution, sometime in 1765, there is the invention of steam engine. And then what are the industries that developed in the first industrial revolution? There is, along with the steam engine, there was spinning, ginning, the sewing machine, the power loom, the gas, the iron and coal mining, and all these things has developed due to the first industrial revolution, sometime around 1760. So then you can see the corresponding laws that have developed in these areas. So can see the initial days. As such, India has never undergone any kind of industrial revolution, but slowly the people started thinking about how to regulate. They are not totally against the industrial revolution, but how to regulate this, how to save the workers or the laborers from exploitation. The seeds of law started sowing, because industrial revolutions are responsible for the growth of different laws. And when we come back to the second industrial revolution, sometime in 1870s, because this was the period laws has developed. Whereas the first was mechanical. The speed, the contribution was by the mechanical engineering. And when we come to the second industrial revolution, it was pioneered by many inventions in Europe, that is electrical. So the industries, initially the factories, and then industries that are developed due to electricity, telephone, light bulbs, electric bulbs, automobile, petrochemical refining, telegraphs, typewriter, and even when steel factories were installed, the first skyscraper was built in Chicago, Illinois. So when you look at these fields and factories are established, then came Factories Act to regulate Fatal Accidents Act, at least in India, 1857, and 1865, first Factories Act. And slowly, you can see Electricity Act, Telegraph Act. So what I'm trying to convince you is that industrial revolutions at every phase has contributed for making of the laws. If you want to know the law and technology, you have to look at what are the technological developments, industrial side, and what are the relevant laws that have been drafted during that particular period. And then came the third industrial revolution, that is the digital age. So in the digital age, the computer, internet era, the rise of electronics in the end of 20th century, communications, space research, expeditions, biotechnology, and whatever the subjects that I have been saying, and there are laws were drafted.
Okay, I've got this on the web.
Either,
Research expeditions.
so this is technology. Even I didn't ask, and just started explaining me. Okay. So, what I would like to convey is that at every stage, first industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, third industrial revolution, and whatever the industrial revolutions has contributed in the different fields, on the other hand, you will find different laws. So when there is IT, the IT Act is there, and communications, regulating the communications, Telegraph Act, and biotechnology, and all these fields, you will find the laws. And most interestingly, in 2016, see, the first, second, and third industrial revolutions, they are product revolutions. And the fourth industrial revolution is a services revolution. And this was coined by Klaus Schwab, who happened to be the founder of World Economic Forum. It is he who has coined that the fourth industrial revolution, it basically belongs to the services. And more than computing, the breakthroughs are gene sequencing, nanotechnology, renewable energy, and quantum computing, and all this. And we know the IT services, the Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Bombay, and India has become the IT leader, undoubtedly. And the exports and earnings, and all these things, they are regulated by law. Please, whenever I am speaking about IT industry or biotechnology or something else, in the legal field, the parliament has drafted the laws. And now we are in the fifth industrial revolution. The fifth industrial revolution, just now sir is saying about artificial intelligence, robotics, and so on and so forth. And as such that we are in the fifth industrial revolution. And it would be surprising, just 2 days back, so far we know the GPS and global positioning system. And just 3-4 days back, there is a news that GPS is not restricted only to the planet Earth, even to the outer space, and which has a radius of 4 lakh kilometers. Even GPS, which you can explore even on the moon. So just 2-3 days back. And similarly, when we come to the AI, in Switzerland, in a church, it is also in the news, in the last week only, maybe some 4-5 days back, Times of India. In a church, they created Jesus. So for what purpose? So in the church there will be a confession box. So those who wants to make confession, they will go, but there won't be the father who will present in the confession box to hear this. There will be artificial Jesus. And through this, whether the person with his volume, with his tone, tenor, whether he is actually confessing or just for the sake of even to cheat. Cheating has no limits. One can cheat anybody, including the God. So, my friends, these are the scientific developments which have been happening in the modern times. So, when we want to look at law and technology, whereas whenever science technology develops, and mostly nowadays the other problem that we have been facing is cyber crime. And we never heard 20 years back cyber forensics. And at NLIU we had cyber forensics lab. We never expected in a law college or in a law university having a cyber forensics lab. And if you drop there are instruments worth of 50 lakh rupees. If you drop the mobile, within 5 minutes, the entire mobile history will come right from its birth. That means when the SIM card was dropped, कब किसको क्या phone किया, कितना लंबा time किया, everything. So cyber crimes, and if we make a call today, cyber cheating, cyber arrest, digital arrest, phishing, deepfake, messaging, and there is no limit. Technology has no limit. and cheating has no limit, and crimes, cyber crime has no limit. But now we have the DPDP. Earlier there was no DPDP Act, Digital Personal Cyber Data Protection Act. We had why? Because there are instances, if you go to a lab for some clinical report, there the people they have been taking the date of birth and other details. If someone has the date of birth, that is enough to take out the information. And unnecessarily people are collecting the information, data. So data has become a very big business, collecting the data and selling it to the different agencies. So wherever science advances, law will come into picture to regulate for sustainable development. My friends, this is how, with my little academic experience, when there are two concepts, we have to look into the history and what is the corresponding developments, effects on the other concept. So when we can read the subject, when there are two interdisciplinary subjects, then only we can, to make a picture of the impact or the effects of the subject. So with these few words, I thank you, Madam, very much for inviting me to the holy city. And we must take the name of Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad, who happened to be the first president of India and also the chairman of the Constituent Assembly. Thank you. So once again, I express my gratitude to my sister and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with the constitutional values, interface of science, law, and technology, and their responsible use for sustainable development. Far and away, the best prize that life has to offer us is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. May we please request our chief guest and distinguished dignitaries to felicitate the winners of the competitions organized on the occasion of Foundation Day celebration. In the first category, poster making, Ms. Samriddhi Jain. She is the winner of slogan writing as well, Ms. Samriddhi Jain. In the next category of poem recitation, Ms. Srijal Mishra. She is the winner of two category of awards. She is the dance competition, Ms. Yashoda Sharma. In the next category, we have Nukkad Natak, Yasharth and Abhyuday and their team. Abhyuday and Yasharth. Thank you, dignitaries. We are privileged to have among us Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal, Judge, Supreme Court of India, as our chief guest. He himself was elevated as an additional judge of Allahabad High Court in 2006. His illustrious career in the judiciary has been a beacon of fairness, equity, and progressive legal interpretations. Honorable Lordship is a trustee of Itawa Hindi Seva Nidhi and the founder trustee of Justice Narendranath Mittal Memorial Foundation. May we please request Honorable Lordship to please address the gathering.
It's fine. Vande Vani Vinayako. You will be surprised why I said these two words. Vani, in fact, refers to Saraswati and Vinayak to Vivek. And Vinayak is also Ganeshji, the beautiful small Sarup of Ganeshji. Now, Vande Vani Vinayako is the shlok which has been used in Ramcharitramanas as one of the first one. And Tulsidas has used it because according to him, Saraswati or Vani without intellect is not good to be used. So Saraswati has to be used with intelligence. Whatever knowledge you have to use it intelligently and vivek ke saath. Now, wherever I go, I use these two words and uske piche swarth hai mera. My daughter is Vani and my son is Vinayak. Vande Vani Vinayako. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Tandon, distinguished jurists, Professor Surya Prakash, Professor Verma from MNIT, Atul Nandaji, and my friend from Korea. I have a prepared speech for today, so I would first like to read it out, and then I will revert back to certain anecdotes in relation to some of the points which my predecessors have raised before you. It is a privilege to stand before this distinguished gathering at the valedictory session of the International Conference on Law, Technology, and Sustainable Development. This event has provided a crucial platform for insightful discussions on the interaction of law, technology, and sustainability. I extend my heartfelt appreciations to Dr. Rajendra Prasad, National Law University, Prayagraj, for organizing this conference. The presence of scholars, legal luminaries, experts for renowned institutions worldwide underscores the significance of our deliberations today. I am elated to be invited to render the valedictory address on the culmination of this enlightening 3-day international conference on law, technology, and sustainability. I express my commendations to the organizers for conducting a successful event. I firmly believe that the academia, legal fraternity, and the community as a whole have been enriched by the wide-ranging discussions and deliberations made in these 3 eventful days. During the past 3 days, we had the opportunity to delve into the areas which affect our lives and our economy deeply. Issues of emerging technology on gender rights, rights of indigenous people, and human rights generally were discussed in extenso, and efforts to nurture the environment and ecology through recommendations and viable solutions were put forth by all of you. For this, I heartily appreciate your candor, your out of the box thinking, and above all, your steely resolve to address these grave issues we all are grappling with. Today, we are faced with drastic impacts of climate change, air and water pollution, on ecological diversity, biodiversity, as well as on human life. It has resulted in displacement of resource-dependent people from forest and land. In urban areas, pollution has impacted the quality of life. India, with unique challenges and opportunities, stand at a crucial juncture in addressing legal aspects of technology and sustainable development. Sustainable development, as we all now understand to a great extent, is development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I repeat and emphasize, sustainable development, as we all now understand to a great extent, is development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The focus of sustainable development is far broader than just the environment. It is also about ensuring a strong, healthy, and just society. This includes meeting the diverse needs of all people in existing and future communities, promoting personal well-being, social cohesion and inclusion, and creating equal opportunities. I feel immense pride in stating that the Supreme Court of India has been a pivotal in shaping environmental jurisprudence, balancing the rights and entitlements of multiple stakeholders, whether it be the state, the community, business, the unrepresented or unprivileged, or even the future generations yet to arrive, thereby enhancing access to environmental justice. The Indian society has actively contributed to ensuring sustainable development by applying international principles like the precautionary principle, polluter pays principle, sustainable development doctrine, international equity, intergenerational equity, public trust doctrine, and absolute liability. In MC Mehta versus Union of India and Narmada Bachao Andolan, the Supreme Court balanced development goals with environmental protections. Through PILs, the court has expanded environmental justice and imposed duties on the government for sustainable use of resources. The relaxation of locus standi requirements has caused a revolutionary impact, resulting in increased environmental litigation, which has enabled the courts to enrich the environmental jurisprudence. Today, there is an environmental litigation in every part of the country, focusing on every sector ranging from solid and toxic waste management, forest degradation, air and water pollution, noise pollution, nuclear waste, and biomedical waste to forest fire, illegal mining, power plants, coastal and wasteland land degradation, wildlife protection, infrastructure, and huge investment projects violating environmental laws. Balancing economic development with sustainability is a judicial challenge. Landmark cases on industrial emissions, air pollution control, and forest conservation exemplify the court's commitment. Recently, the court held that there exists not only a right to clean and healthy environment under Article 21, but also a right against the adverse effects of climate change. Indian judges have been at the vanguard when it comes to protecting environment. Justice Kuldeep Singh earned the title of Green Judge for his groundbreaking rulings on environmental issues. One of his seminal rulings protected the Taj Mahal from industrial pollution. He also ensured that the right to a clean environment comes within the ambit of Article 21 of the Constitution. He joined the League of Leaders such as Nelson Mandela when the International Bar Association honored him in 1997 for his contribution to environmental protection and human rights. We are witnessing an era where technology is evolving at an unprecedented pace, disrupting traditional legal frameworks and raising complex regulatory and ethical concerns. Innovations in artificial intelligence, blockchain, cybersecurity, and biotechnology have not only transformed industries but have also challenged the existing legal doctrines. The legal system, often perceived as slow moving and traditional, is now at the crossroads where it must adapt to technological advancements while upholding the rule of law. A crucial trisection, or so as to say, sangam of law, technology, and sustainable development lies in this understanding that the only way we are going to achieve our climate goals, including sustainable development goals, is through innovation. This can be done by encouraging green technologies, environmental monitoring, and basing decisions on scientific evidence. Today, compliance of environmental laws and decisions can be tracked using latest technologies like satellite surveillance, remote sensing, and artificial intelligence. In response to Delhi's severe pollution, the Supreme Court suggested using remote sensing technology within the NCR. The court closely monitored the AIQ and ordered school closures during hazardous conditions. Technology has improved judicial efficiency through initiatives like the pandemic accelerated virtual hearings, ensuring justice delivery continuity. Indian courts are increasingly using information and communication technologies to enhance efficiency and access to justice, particularly for women, through initiatives like e-filing, video conferencing, and digital platforms for case management and record sharing. This is an important step in the direction of achieving sustainable development goal number 5, which focuses on accelerating gender equality. Courts use technology for e-filing, video conferencing, and digital platforms like digital case management, e-courts to improve accessibility, particularly for women and persons with disabilities. ICTs can help ensure that women have equal access to justice by making court proceedings more accessible and efficient, regardless of their location or circumstances. ICTs can be used to promote gender-sensitive requirement and transfer policies, and by providing adequate training and support for judges and the court staff. To enhance accessibility for people with disabilities in court proceedings, technological initiatives include accessible court websites, document in OCR format, and sensitive technologies like screen readers and sign language interpretation, ensuring inclusive and equitable access to justice. Now, much has been spoken on regulation of emerging technologies, but one topic which requires greater attention from the Indian point of view is the indigenous people and preservation of indigenous knowledge systems like Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and Yoga. We must recognize that they provide tremendous knowledge and technology resources bases and tend to be sustainable in comparison to the modern and scientific knowledge systems. Indeed, innovative steps like traditional knowledge, digital library unit, a database of Indian traditional knowledge by CSIR and Ayush Ministry are focusing on preventing exploitation of Indian traditional knowledge in patent offices worldwide. However, integration of such knowledge with the modern knowledge systems, say in medicine and public health, can help us resolve burning issues like providing standard healthcare services to our vast population. While there is a positive relationship between law, technology, and sustainable development, challenges arise. As technology evolves, issues like data privacy, surveillance, and digital rights are critical. The balance between technological innovation and privacy right, as seen in the Puttaswamy case, is an ongoing challenge. We have to ensure that emerging technologies, especially AI, do not undermine fundamental rights of citizens. Another area of concern is the legislative vacuum in technology regulation and its integration with climate change policy. This is compounded by lack of research on the impact of rapid technological advancements on physical aspects of our environment, mental health of humans, and the society in general. Law schools are the cradle of legal thought and practice. It is necessary to encourage law students and young lawyers to study the cross section of environmental protection and technology. There should also be a focus on cross disciplinary collaboration between technologies, environmental experts, and judiciary. In conclusion, as we stand at the trisection of law, technology, and sustainable development, we are confronted with both challenges and immense opportunities. The rapid evolution of technology has reshaped every facet of our society, from communication to commerce and increasingly to environmental protection. However, this progress must be balanced with careful consideration of all legal implications, particularly in ensuring that technological advancements contribute to sustainable development without compromising legal and ethical standards. For law students and the broader legal community, this is an exciting time with these issues. The role of law in regulating and guiding technology towards sustainable outcomes cannot be overstated. As future legal professionals, it is our responsibility to ensure that the legal framework we develop today can both accommodate and direct technological growth in a way that promotes equity, environmental sustainability, and the common good. We must consider the complex interconnections between climate change, digital innovation, human rights, and economic development. Moreover, the law must continue to evolve harmoniously with technological progresses. This requires not just understanding the current state of technology, but also anticipating future trends and ensuring our legal systems are agile and responsive. It is imperative that we as legal experts work in collaboration with the scientists, policymakers, technologists to create a future that is not only technologically advanced, but also socially and environmentally sustainable. In the end, I must emphasize that the legal profession stands as a pillar in shaping a future where law, technology, and sustainability are in harmony. Let us embrace this challenge with creativity, commitment, and forward-thinking mindset, for the decisions we make today will lay the foundation for a better tomorrow. Now, some of the speakers have referred to certain things which I would like to answer. Law is a jealous mistress. Jealous mistress. Mr. Nanda has spoken about it. So I am reminded of a small anecdote. When I was a lawyer, one of my colleagues, very senior to me and a close friend, he was elevated to the bench. After 3-4 years, it was my turn to be elevated. My name had been recommended. So I went to his house and asked his wife, "How do you feel to be as a wife of a judge. So she smiled and she said that your friend never gave me time when he was a lawyer. He never had time for me. He never spared any time. Now he has become a judge. Now he doesn't even give time, nor he gives me money. As a lawyer, money was in plenty. So it is not only the legal profession, but as a judge also you are a loser that way. You have to devote full time to law. You can't think of anything else. Then Mr. Nanda also referred to 24/7 working for 25 years. And then probably we will be able to control the backlog or the arrears of the cases. We may increase the number of judges. We may ask the judges to work whole time. The lawyers may also assist them. But I don't think we will be able to control the backlog by working overnight or by appointing more and more judges. There has to be some good governance on part of the government. We have to reduce the litigation. It is not that the social awareness is there, legal awareness is there, therefore the litigation is increasing. No, the government has to see that the orders are passed in such a way that there is no litigation. Government knows that no one can be condemned without hearing, but even then orders are passed day and night without hearing the other side. This kind of passing of orders has to be stopped. Cases have to be reduced, litigation has to be reduced. That is my take on what Mr. Nanda said about it. Professor Verma spoke about senators in USA. Most of the lawyers are senators. Here also, lawyers are in the parliament. And it is a good profession. And personally, I feel it is a noble profession. And all young people sitting at the back, they should all enter into litigation, and the other choices come later on. When I was likely to start my practice, I had passed out my law. I came to Allahabad. I was with my family, my father, mother, but I was quite depressed. I used to see the majestic High Court building, and I used to get scary. What I will do in this such a huge, majestic building, whether I will be able to handle the cases there. So I got a little depressed. And I could not have strength to start practicing or to go to the High Court. I was a little afraid. So one day, one of the judges, my father's colleague and a friend, he came in the evening and he saw me. Bole, why are you so depressed? What is the predicament? I said, I'm not able to decide whether I will be able to work in this High Court. Such a huge building, I am afraid of it. Well, no, legal profession everywhere is same, whether it is at the district level or the High Court. Don't bother about the building. See, it is just like you just enter into the profession and you have laddu in both hands. अगर वकालत चल गई तो मोतीलाल, ना चली तो जवाहरलाल. So don't be afraid. And that was the moment I decided, and from next day I started practicing in the High Court. So these small things, they give you so much of impetus that I can't tell you. Professor Verma also pointed out that they have started a course in Constitution so that all citizens should know what their Constitution is about. So I think constitution is a very vast subject, and it may not be possible for every institution to start such a course, but every institution should have a small class about the preamble of the constitution. If we start understanding the preamble, that is the key to the constitution, I think that would be sufficient enough. That will give sufficient insight to our constitution. So every institution like MNIT or any other institution other than the law should have a course, not only maybe a constitution, it is good, but at least on preamble of the constitution. Someone also referred to the rights and duties. Now, rights and duties, they are covered in the Constitution, Article 51. We added later on under the directive principles. But fundamental rights were there from the very beginning. And everyone in this country is fighting for his fundamental rights, but forgetting about his duties towards the nation. This is the sad part. And every day, while sitting in a writ jurisdiction, we say the litigant must come with clean hand and clean mind. He should come with clean heart. And still, petitions are being entertained, even though they are not coming with clean, at least with clean heart. They are not performing their duties and are insisting that their rights should be given to them. Rights actually come after you fulfill your duties. But in our constitution, fundamental rights are first and duties are later on. And if you see Ramayana, or you go by the Hindu Dharma Shastra, Ram came first. He taught us to do kartavya. He never asked for any right. अपना कर्तव्य करते गए, चाहे बेटे का कर्तव्य हो, पति का कर्तव्य हो, भाई का कर्तव्य हो या एक राजा का कर्तव्य हो, उन्होंने सारे कर्तव्य जो हैं निभाए. After Ram came Leela Purushottam Krishna. He taught us to fight for rights, अधिकारों के लिए लड़ना. He goaded Arjun and Yudhishthir to fight, not to give away. Fight for your right with the Kauravas. Because he knew that the Pandavas have performed their duties, kartavya, and they are not asking anything wrong. कर्तव्य करने के पश्चात अधिकारों की डिमांड करना उन्होंने हमें सिखाया. लेकिन आज हम लोग हाई कोर्ट में सिर्फ अपने फंडामेंटल राइट्स के लिए जाते हैं विदाउट रियलाइजिंग दैट वेदर और नॉट वी हैव परफॉर्म्ड आवर ड्यूटीज टुवर्ड्स द नेशन, टुवर्ड्स आवर पेरेंट्स, टुवर्ड्स द अपोनेंट. नो. With these words, I take leave. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Honorable Lordship, for enlightening us with the nuances of technology, climate change, diversity, environmental justice, and sustainable development. Also, the role of Supreme Court in shaping environmental jurisprudence and technology-driven access to justice. Thank you, Lordship, once again. As we conclude this enriching conference, may we request Dr. Prakash Tripathi, Joint Director of the International Conference, to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal sir, esteemed dignitaries on the dais, respected guests, distinguished scholars, dear faculty members, and my dear students. Very good evening to all of you. It is both an honor and a privilege to extend the vote of thanks on the behalf of Dr. Rajendra Prasad National Law University, Prayagraj, as we conclude the International Conference on Law, Technology, and Sustainable Development. This conference has been a sangam of intellectual discourse, scholarly engagement, and interdisciplinary deliberations, significantly contributing to the evolving nexus between law, technology, and sustainable development, which we witnessed in the last 2 days. At the very outset, I extend my deepest and most sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Justice Pankaj Mittal sir, for he's a Justice of Supreme Court of India, for his insightful and thought-provoking address. Sir, your erudite reflection on the dynamic interplay between legal framework and the technological advancement in the pursuit of sustainable development had provided invaluable perspective that will guide our academic and professional endeavors. Thank you, Lordship, for your insights and sparing time from your busy schedule to grace the event. Thank you, sir. I special gratitude and thanks to Professor Dr. S. Surya Prakash, Honorable Vice Chancellor, NLIU Bhopal, for his gracious presence and invaluable insight. Your scholarly intervention have significantly enriched our academic deliberations and reinforced the need for an integrated approach toward law and sustainability and the scientific development. Thank you, sir. We are deeply grateful to Mr. Nitin Nanda, sir, an esteemed international lawyer from Estonia, for bringing a unique and comparative global perspective on legal innovation and technological advancement in sustainable development. Sir, he's not here. Yeah, he's here only. Okay. Your perspective on transnational legal frameworks and regulatory mechanism have broadened our understanding of international best practices. Thank you for motivating our student and announcing the international internship to our student. They will be certainly going to get benefited of it. Thank you. I also extend my heartfelt appreciation to Professor Moon Hyun Ko for his illuminating discussion on legal frameworks governing sustainability from a global perspective. Thank you, sir. Our sincere thanks go to Professor Ramashankar Verma, Sir, Director, MNNIT Prayagraj, for his gracious presence and for elucidating the prospect role of technology in shaping the future. Sir, also signifies the importance of legal education in different institutions, including the NITs, as you have going to start the Constitution as a course here. Thank you, sir. And we are also thankful to you for graciously providing the venue that facilitated the success execution of this conference. Dr. Usha Tandon ma'am for her exemplary leadership, unwavering support and intellectual vision that have been instrumental in making this conference a resounding success. Ma'am, your commitment to fostering an academic environment in the university that promotes cutting-edge legal scholarship and interdisciplinary research is truly commendable. And I hope and I firmly believe that under your visionary leadership and guidance, we will organize more such conferences in future as well. Thank you, ma'am. This conference would not have been possible without the relentless efforts and meticulous planning of our organizing committee. I extend my sincere appreciation to the esteemed faculty members and administrative staff whose dedication ensured the seamless execution of the session. Your academic rigor and the organizational acumen have been the bedrock of this successful event. Thank you to all of you. I'm also immensely thankful to distinguished scholars, panelists, and the participants from the various institutions across the globe for their scholarly contributions and engaging discussions. Your active participation, physically or online, has been instrumental in making this conference a vibrant and intellectually stimulus forum for exchanging knowledge and ideas. A heartfelt word of appreciation to our not the last, not least, but in the last but not the least, a heartfelt word for appreciation to our diligent students and enthusiastic volunteers who work tirelessly behind the scene to facilitate the smooth functioning of this event. Thank you so much. Once again, I extend my deepest gratitude to each one of you for your invaluable presence, contributions, and engagement. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's stand together in unity to sing our national anthem.